opening statement, then we'll take questions.
Boy, I'm really proud of our kids. What they've been through, this year. A lot of adversity. Whether it's losing games on the final play of the game, some ups and downs, dealing with some big-time injuries throughout the course of the year that really set us back. But next guy kind of step up. The kids stuck together. I tell you, what shows someone's character right now. This team never gave in. Never gave in throughout the whole course of the year. And I'm so proud of them. We sit here and obviously winning this game is so huge. It's so huge. Change a couple plays around, we end up having a great season. Change a couple plays how they ended up, and not as great a season. People can judge that. To me, what a successful season, because there's a bunch of young men in that locker room that really learned that is, no matter what goes on, whether you're having success, failure, you're facing whatever adversities you face, if you kind of buckle up and try to go harder, don't give in, keep pushing yourself to be the best you can be. In the end, you're going to be able to taste success and be successful. And I'm proud of those kids. That's an unbelievable lesson that those guys got to learn tonight. Great game. I think you could kind of see it even at halftime. It was going to be a team that made more plays going to win the game. Unfortunately for us, we in the second half went back and forth a little bit. We made a couple more plays than they did, and that ended up being the difference in the game. Questions?
Dan, what did you figure? Did you go in thinking this was a team you could run on successfully, both quarterback and running back?
I figured they were, we could, but they give you some issues. We had to kind of, they were going to move and blitz and twist. I think the fact that we were able to establish the run early maybe got them out of rhythm of what they wanted to do defensively. But as you see, we had to keep kind of mixing up the different looks and some formations to run the ball out of to keep them on their toes.
Let's talk about the emotions you're feeling now. First time to win the Egg Bowl in 2 years. I know it's long 2 years, I'm sure. What is it like to finally win one again?
Well, it's awesome. You know what? It is awesome. This is my 8th time playing in this game. I'm not going to say it's the biggest win. I'm not going to say it's low. Every time you win it, it's awesome. Every time you lose it, it's awful. And because it sticks with you. You know what I mean? It sticks with you. So just what an unbelievable feeling to come in, to get that win, bring that trophy back to Starkville. For all our fans, for everybody, I know it's, this game means so much to all of the fans, to everybody in Mississippi. So it's so huge. I'm so happy to get that win for all the Bulldog fans. They've believed in us. I've been here for 8 years, and people have believed in what we've tried to do, what we've tried to build. As I've said, we've raised expectations here pretty high, but I'm just thrilled that we get to bring that trophy home to Starkville for all of them.
Coach, when you think about Nick, first game of the season, plays 2 series, 2 preseasons.
Yeah.
Talk about his development over the years.
Well, he's really come a long way and developed as a quarterback. I think I've learned a lot of lessons in coaching this year, but I think you're always learning as a coach. Every year brings its own unique challenges, and so you got to grow and develop as a coach. But I look at players. The first thing I always told Nick is, let's just worry about who you are. We're going to build around you and what you do well. Don't worry about who you're not. I think all year too many people worried about who he was not instead of who he was. And he's a pretty darn good quarterback, and has a different skill set than other quarterbacks that we've had here before in the past. Different skill set but every quarterback I've had has had a very different skill set. I think if you lined up all the quarterbacks I've coached in one line, and you said those guys all had success running the same offense, you'd be like, there's no way, they're all different. But you know what? He didn't let that bother him. He stayed focused, continued to work, and execute at a high level. And he's fast. I think everybody saw that tonight. He's fast. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
What is it about? At this point, everyone knows that he can run, but
yeah,
no one can stop him. Why is he?
Well, I think you look at how we've matured. I think Eris Williams maturing, our offensive line growing as the season went on, and confidence in the players behind them. And when you add those things with a threat of Fred, with a threat of Fred Ross and Donald Gray, and and then what Malik and what some of the guys around him can do, he gets some one-on-one opportunities. And if the problem is, I think he gets the ball in the open field, he has the potential to go hit the home run. So. A lot of his runs, we had a couple designed quarterback runs today, but most of them were kind of just zone read options, and they gave him the read to run it, and he did. And when he got in the open field, he didn't, only carried the ball 14 times today. So, when he got in the open field, he made big plays happen.
What was your message to him during the week and before the game, before they went out there?
Well, all during the week. Hey, it's all about this one game. This game means so much. And with a lot of young players, don't worry about what's gone right, what's gone wrong. Don't worry about anything. It's all about this one game. I don't care where we are. Let's go. This game's different. It's special, like all rivalry games. It's special. And I know for both teams. The last couple of years, it seems like we've been playing for an awful lot more than this. And trust me, I'd love for both of us to be 11-0 coming into this game one day too. I can't wait to coach in that game. It'll happen, I'm sure, one day. But to our guys to understand how big a game this is for all of the guys on the team and for our fan base. I told them before the game, hey, everything that's happened doesn't matter. Let's go out and finish this season the right way. Finish the right way. And when we do that. You got next 9 months of feeling like $1 million about yourself. I don't know if the chips fall right. Maybe with this team, maybe they get one more opportunity to play together. But I told them, if this is it, this is your last opportunity. This team, there'll be guys playing for Mississippi State for years to come. But this team, that was it. This is possibly your last opportunity to go out there and play together, and leave your mark. What's your mark going to be? And they left a pretty good one, I know, on Bulldog fans.
What's the story behind the cigar?
It's pretty smoky in that locker room right now, so they handed me one. So I figured this might be a smoke-free media room in here right now, so I didn't light up quite before I got in here.
What was Brandon Bryan? He wasn't. I saw him.
Yeah, he got banged up with a concussion early in the game, and which is frustrating. But as it's been kind of all year, it's kind of been that way. We've suffered through so many injuries this year. But guys just kind of kept battling and fighting.
What'd you tell the team in the locker room after the game?
Just how proud of them I am. You know what I mean? That hey, they get to finish this on a winning note. I told them we'll find out. We might find out. I'd love to say I'd love to give you a schedule. I don't know what our schedule is going to be. We'll find out. I think we've obviously, because some of the stuff that's happened, it's not in our hands of what goes on. Let them go. But most importantly, I told them I'm so proud of a bunch of men that now can look and say, you know what, when things don't go your way, tie your boots a little bit tighter, get back to work. We live in a society, to me, I think, where too many people just want things their way or not at all, or looking for a handout or the easy way or short. There's only, you want to get to the top of the mountain, there's one way I've learned in my life, that's your hard work. You know what? Tighten up, get back to work, and if you do that, great things will end up happening to you in life. And if they can learn that lesson, they'll think back on winning that game, but hopefully what sticks with them more than just winning that game, winning this game, gave them that message that, you know what, when I'm having a tough time as a husband, when I'm having a tough time as a father, when I'm having a tough time in my job in life, don't give in. Just buckle up, buckle down, trust in your family, your teammates, your friends, people close to you, and go harder. And when you do, good things end up happening to you. If they can get that message out of this game, well, that's the most successful game we've ever played, most successful season we've ever had, and that's kind of what I told them. So I'm just proud of all of them of how they finished.
Talk about your team's defense in the second half.
Well, they came out, played well. You know what I mean? They're an explosive offense. You know what I mean? I don't know, Kaylee, they're left for ESPN, I'm sure, but she, what's your adjustment? How are you stopping Shea from running around all over the place? I don't know. We're not, If I would have done that, I knew that. I would have done that in the first half. he's going to do that. So our whole deal was continue to play, continue to make plays. We've told them all week, they're going to make plays. And some of the times it's hurt us is all of a sudden we give up a play and everyone's kind of got their head, oh no, we just gave up a big play. Oh no. You know what? Don't worry about that. Go play the next play. And I thought we did that in the second half. They made some plays in the second half, but you know what? We'll just go back, play the next play. Worry about playing the next play as hard as you can play. And force them to earn their way into the end zone. Earn their way to a score. Don't just give up one play and give them a cheap one the next time. Earn their way the whole way down the field into the end zone. And we did that.
Your thoughts about ever since Elton moved from tackle to guards and that
He's done a great job. That's part of the injury deal is because I got him in being able to play multiple positions, right? And then Dion, between both of them, the trainer kind of looks at me and says, between both of them, you might be able to get a game out of them. And so, you're kind of forced that way. And with Michael Story out, Darrell Williams out, that, we had to go that way and hope that nothing else goes wrong because, you got four linemen and then half a lineman for, a lineman for, they probably get each half the game. And but they both, Dion and Elton, have both played really well at the guard position for us this year.
What was that like seeing? I know at the start of the season, you're looking for leaders, and the last 2.5 years, there was no question who that leader was. It was Dak Prescott. Is Nick now that guy after 12 games into the season and doing what he did?
We're going to see. This is a huge challenge for him now. This is going to be a big challenge for him. He's had some success, but now I think he knows what to expect. If you're going to be the guy, go be the guy, and act like it. You're not and not learning anymore. Learning curve's done. He was around a guy that learned how to become the guy, learned how to improve. To improve drastically from one year to the next. Okay, to do that, a lot of natural leadership's going to occur. You know what I mean? If he's not out there leading the way with our receivers, making sure our timing's right, making sure the offense is clicking when the coaches can't be around, make sure that he's working and other players are working at the level they need to do to be successful, then he's not going to improve. So I think he needs to step up, and be a big leader moving into this offseason. And if he does, he'll improve to become the type of to become a great quarterback. If he wants to become a great quarterback, it really for him starts today, between here and next year.
What was it like to see Cedric Giles score? Going through all he's gone through the entire senior season, for him to score the way he did.
His senior season, his whole career, you know what I mean? His whole career, he's battled. And when you're looking, I know he was a highly recruited player out of high school. He's a great kid. He's a really good kid. I've never had never an issue. But all of a sudden, injury after kind of injury throughout his career, and it can get you down. But he's another one, kept battling, and just so happy for him to make that play, and he kept going. Kept going. I'm like, holy cow! And he found a way into the end zone. He kept running and kept running, got his way into the end zone, and I'll tell you what, because one of the things you worry, they got an next play, can score pretty fast. Way our year's gone, there's like 5 minutes left in the game, we're up, and you look at our sidelines, and I'm paranoid as a coach. I'm sure everybody's out there like, oh, they got it. I'm paranoid. I'm like, just keep playing, because strange things happen out there in football games, and but for us to once he did it to finish off the game, that was huge.
Damien tweeted. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Damien tweeted that, or posted on Instagram, this is his final Egg Bowl. Do you know if he's transferring?
You know what? I think we've had a little discussion about it, but I don't know. Like, we were going to meet with what the actual plans would be from. I know he graduates in 2 weeks, so he's finished his degree, and for him, I give him a lot of credit. Talk about a guy that was always ready. Just, hey, call my number. I'm ready to go and prepare the right way. And so I think, we'll work with him to help him however we can help him in the future.
I guess what's next? Like you said, there may be a bowl. You might not find out until next week. How do you do that?
I know Camping World guys are here. Liberty Bowl's here. We're ready. We got good grades. Our APR, I don't know. I guess I'll go. I do have a checklist, and I didn't want to look at it of all the teams. I don't know. Are we in? You did one, and you told me, right? My wife called me and said Michael's worked, and statistically speaking,
I think it's ULL, USA, Texas San Antonio, and UCLA need to lose. Not all of them need to, but if they all do, you'd be in.
come on. You know you have tough ones as coaches, right? Where's Megan? She's in here. Watching, good friends with Dave Dorn. So happy for him to win his rivalry game. Like, darn, they were on my list that we needed to lose. But I don't,
Arizona State lost.
An Arizona State law, but you know, and Rich Rod, I'm good friends with. So if we get in, there's probably some Christmas gifts I need to go ship and send out right there. But you know what? I mean, I don't know whether we get that opportunity. I'll love it if we don't. You know, I never wish bad upon anybody. So, you know, I mean, like you're torn there. You're good friends with Dave Dorn, watching his game, and like, you know, I want him to win for him. You got good friends in this profession, but we'll see. I don't know, and I guess it's John's decision too with what happens with all of that stuff. And I do know this. If we do get the opportunity, as always, you're going to get a team that plays really hard. You're going to get a fan base that's passionate about their team, is going to show up and support their football team. So if we get that opportunity, for all the things that have gone wrong for us this year, maybe the good Lord is going to look down on us and give us a little blessing to give one more opportunity for these young men to get to play together.
You mentioned this year things are going right. Can you draw any comparisons at all to this season than your first season? Same record, some close losses, a sophomore QB kind of thing. Is there any kind of...
Well, there's some similarities right there. The big difference is the expectations around here. And I think, you know, the first season, the difference, I think, you know, this might have been harder. You know, the guys the first season weren't used to winning, but they were always willing to go play hard for you and motivated and ready to go do what they could do. The guys this year, it was a challenge because they were expecting to win, and so, you know, when you lose on the last play of the game, I mean, it was just so. I mean, kids. A lot of the kids are like that. That's not supposed to happen to us here. And they've learned, though. They learned to suck it up and keep playing, and so with all our young guys, hopefully this is a huge step forward that guys now understand. I need to go. I might go old school this off season a little bit on them, and we got to get tougher as a team, mentally and physically tougher. Not that we're not and to be able to compete and do that stuff, but just to make sure that they understand how hard it is to win football games and how much you got to push every single day, and how small the margin for error is to win football games.
Dan, people always talk about quarterbacks and that it factor. Are you convinced now that Nick has that it factor? I mean, you've had some guys that really got it. So
he's working on it. I'm convinced he's a great quarterback. You know, I want to see his continued growth, and like I said, this next 9 months is a lot. You know, people think the it factor shows up on Saturday. It factor shows up in February. It factor shows up on a hot July afternoon. That's when the it factor really shows up for a lot of guys. You know, I mean, people look at a guy like Dak Prescott, who was one of the great it factors. We took him, okay, because our strength coach came after a weight room workout at a camping at one of our camps and said that guy has to be our quarterback. And I looked at John Hevesy and I looked at, I think Les Kenning was with us at the time, and I looked at both of them, and they're like, let's hope he can throw the football a little bit then at this workout. You know, I mean, at this next workout, because last time I was here, he was just okay. But he said, you know, that's the guy, and people think sometimes it's just the guy in the huddle, but it's so much more than that. And I think now, with a lot of being, you know, we're people are going to be like, how's Nick Fitzgerald now? Again, talking about who he is, who he's not. That's his job moving forward, is to develop that it factor with the team when people aren't asking who he is or is not anymore.
you don't have to beat on him. Who do you have to beat?
On Nick Fitzgerald? UT Chattanooga. They're an excellent football team.
FCS
playoff team. He was a wishbone. He was a kid that really didn't play a lot of quarterback till his senior year. He was was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, like probably in a lot of ways, like Ben Roethlisberger didn't play a lot of quarterback his senior year. Ran the wishbone at his high school, and the quarterback in front of him, and I think went to the Air Force Academy. Was a really good player, and he was playing receiver, and he could really run, and he had a really strong arm, and I figure we can coach the rest.